All right, happy to be live on YouTube on this Monday. I think people are watching games right now, football going on, the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. So look at this. I'm on my tweet deck. I'm going to tweet right now that I'm going live on my YouTube page. Check it out. So I want to do a little week 6 recap. And what's really interesting is that I do want to talk about trusting your gut and some of the things that I talked about before. And I want some comments too. I got the iPad up. Check it out. I got everything going on. I'm going to upgrade everything soon here too. I'm getting a green background so you can get rid of that ugly light. And we're going to improve everything. Possibly get a new computer soon and make this all better. As you can see, I use this streaming service right now, OBS. I'm sure people love all the dorky technology. All right, DraftKings and FanDuel. First of all, let's just go over week 6. I'm kicking myself. I had a tough time sleeping. And what I try to do with this is be honest. And I know when I look at a lot of YouTube videos, I don't see a lot of people sometimes saying what they did wrong. And that's because they're pros. I'm not a pro. If you watch a lot of the pros, they got big bankrolls, but they got big bankrolls too because they're smart. They've been doing this for a while, and they know what they're doing. And I'm constantly learning. And I learn from week to week. And what I really think we can take from that too to the NFL game is football is so much about matchups. It's unreal. It is unreal. And here in New England, people are up in arms today about the Patriots losing and saying, well, how could they beat Seattle or almost beat Seattle? Seattle's got a bad defense, and that's been the case every week. And as we saw yesterday, Fantasy Labs wrote a great article. Check them out. If you do whatever week you're on, so yesterday I went, and you can do it right now, Google Week 6 Fantasy Labs. They break down every position. They'll tell you tournament plays, cash game plays. They had a list of running backs that have gone off against the Jacksonville Jaguars since last year. And I had Swift and Peterson in my player pool. I played Peterson and won. I was going to play Swift on FanDuel. I did not because I got caught up in timeshare and that he's more of a PPR guy, and he ended up scoring 2 touchdowns. So you got to remember matchups. Regardless if guys are chalk, still play them if they are in a good situation. I did not play Derrick Henry yesterday. I don't know why I did not play Derrick Henry. I do one lineup every week on FanDuel in the Millionaire Tournament, and I am kicking myself yesterday because despite this score, which is not bad, where this ranks, out of 804,000 people, I mean, that's, we're talking close to 1 million people here. I mean, closer towards 1 million than 500,000. I'm kicking myself because I really feel I was on every play in the winning lineup, and I was really upset yesterday, and I had a tough time sleeping. I took it this personal because I audibled out of Aaron Rodgers that I was all in on, and I knew that the play of the week would be Matt Ryan. That would be the stack of the week because he was coming in at low ownership. 3% was 3.7 is what he finished at. 3.7 for Matt Ryan in a game against Minnesota. They're not good against the pass. Atlanta's not good either. This is the winning lineup. And yes, I'm far away. You're probably saying you weren't close. I was. And I'm really upset about some of the moves I made. First of all, like I've preached, when you stack a quarterback, this is where I go first in these tournaments. You have to believe he's throwing at least 3 touchdowns, but honestly, you need 4 to 5 to win. 4 to 5 means probably more than one pass catcher is getting targets, getting touchdowns. Julio Jones was the easiest play yesterday. I don't think that was a sharp play. He was under-owned for some reason. I know people went on pass production, but come on. It's Julio Jones to win a tournament. But you have to play 2 pass catchers there. You can't play one anymore in stacks. Maybe it works some weeks, but honestly, if he's throwing 4 touchdowns, he's probably not throwing even 3. He's not throwing 3 to one guy. I don't know why I did not have Ridley in my lineup. And I even Hurst, and I didn't. I went Ryan, Jones, and I ran it back with Justin Jefferson. I faded the chalk in Adam Thielen, who had probably the best matchup, but I felt Thielen's more of a PPR guy. He's not as... Is he a touchdown guy at times? But Jefferson is a stud. He's a breakout, deep threat. These are the tournament players. Okay, so... Yeah, I guess I could have got away with it if I played... I guess Chase Claypool kind of fit my Ridley, if you look at that. So I guess for receivers, I was okay as I'm looking at it now. But still, you should still stack 2 pass catchers. So I'll be okay with this. But the running back situation was stupid. I shouldn't have played Damian Harris. I did not play him because I'm a Patriots fan. I played him because he was pretty much minimum salary coming in at 1%. I thought he had 2 touchdown upside in a game where the Pats were high favorites. But big dart, I think there were guys in better spots. David Montgomery was $300 more and involved in the passing game. Didn't get many points, but still a better play. This guy has to be in your lineup in a game yesterday. He's always demolished Houston. They can't stop anybody. Even though he had 2 catches, one went for 49 yards. It was a chalk play. And I was, worried about the chalk a little bit with Derrick Henry and how the Titans throw the ball a lot. And they did yesterday, but he's got to be in your lineup. And, I thought Jacksonville, with James Robinson, maybe that was a stretch, but here's where I made a mistake is I played Aaron Jones because I knew he was coming in at low ownership, and he didn't. He came in at 20%, which is, look at that, 20%. Derrick Henry was at 31%, but that was not a good play against Tampa Bay. This was a better play. There was a higher over-under. It was $200 more. He's in my lineup. My lineup changes. I had Pittsburgh in there originally. I took them out for the Patriots because I went with the old stack of running back defenses, which you typically do. Trey Burton I played in DraftKings. And for some reason, with Ali Cox being ruled out, he's 4,700. He's the only tight end they had. That's an easy play there. So was Fells of Houston. Ronald Jones, another play there. 10% owned against Green Bay. So I'm kicking myself because this lineup, to me, is very chalky. That won the millionaire. Outside of the stack, 20%. He didn't even have a good game. 31%. Ronald Jones. Jones, Burton. But these aren't, for instance, Claypool last week, he's in the millionaire lineup. Nobody was on him. But everybody was pretty much on Montgomery, Henry, Burton. By lock, he was in pretty much every cash game. Ronald Jones, a lot of experts said, hey, listen, Fournette's ruled out. 5,800 with Fournette ruled out. So, and the Steelers at home. 5% owned. What did the 3-1 Browns scare people away? So I'm upset because I had the right stack, but I just, my process was not great. I thought Andrews, but for that price, that's a lot. And that's where I screwed up. Look at this. Look at the difference in tight ends. I play him. I change the rest of my lineup. If I play him, I get up to Henry. I get up to even more chalkier guys. I could have even left James Robinson in my lineup. If I went Burton here to get the 16 points and I had Henry, then this spot, put Henry in there, then this spot, who knows? I could have put even somebody more. So this, believe it or not, this is the closest I felt because I did not look at any of these plays and go, geez, I wasn't on any of these. I had Ronald Jones in my player pool that I make, and I had Burton as my first tight end. So takes me to my DraftKings lineup. this was a good week for me in DraftKings. I do a lot of these $2 5-player leagues, and I won 5 of these, which was great. I did something different this week. I entered 5 $2 5-player leagues, and I didn't do any tournaments this week on DraftKings. I went with more of a kind of hybrid cash lineup. So I did 5 of these. I won all 5 to get to 30. And then I did 2 $5 double ups. So $20 turned into 48. And then on here I won $5. And then on Super Draft I won 10 cents, which was awesome. So I had a profitable week. I made $33, but I'm not playing with $20,000 or doing 150 lineups. But so here's the thinking on this lineup and what I used for cash games was I talked about the cash games are hard to win because people were using stacks or almost using tournament lineups. So I changed it a bit and I decided to just go with a mini stack, meaning I did Tannehill with Brown. These were mispriced guys because they played on Monday night, and Brown should have been in this lineup too. I'm surprised he could have been a flex spot because he was mispriced. So I did that. I ran it back with Cobb because I used a chart that I found online here, and let's see if I can pull it up. I used a chart, a receiver cornerback chart matchup. Here it is that I found on Twitter. And I noticed that when you looked at Houston, this is the cornerbacks. And this game, completely shootouts. But look at what slot receivers were doing. 19.4 points per game in DraftKings against the slot cornerback cover guys for Tennessee. So I thought Cobb would be a good play there. I knew no one would own him in these 5-man leagues. No one did, 20%. I was the only one that owned him. I thought you had, even though you're doing 5 players, you can get obviously heavy chalk in these. And you could see I had a 4-point difference. It's pretty much these other lineups were almost identical with just a couple of wrinkles. And the wrinkle was the defense, which I paid up for. They paid down. I didn't like the pay downs. The Patriots still got me 7, and that's why I won, was basically the Cobb and the Pats really helped me squeak this out. So I just did a mini stack, and for a DraftKings tournament, again, you want to go more in that game yesterday because if you're playing Tannehill, he threw 4 touchdowns. Now, I probably wouldn't have had the right players because I probably would have went Brown. Oh, who would I went? Well, they don't have maybe Jonas Smith. I wouldn't have used that Frixer or whatever his name is, and he's had a great game. But so just a simple, I did a hybrid in between a cash and a tourney lineup, which is a small stack of Tannehill, Brown, ran it back with Cobb. Best value tight end was Burton, 3,100, scored 2 touchdowns. I went with volume. I thought Gaskin was a great play and maybe someone I should have played in FanDuel. I mean, he scores a touchdown. He gets over 4 times value. He was a perfect cash game play at home. Big implied total. Miami, that was an easy prediction yesterday. Miami defense, I should have used even in FanDuel. At home against the Jets, who are a mess. And you like to have running backs who are in favorable matchups at home. So that I like. Mike Davis, 12.5 points is not bad, but his price was a lot. I mean, that's a lot for him. You're trying to get 2.5 times the points. So he didn't really hit that. Didn't matter. Godwin, I knew he wouldn't be owned. He didn't have a great game. I mean, look at that. Tampa Bay scores 38 points, and this is what always happens. And I wanted a piece of that Green Bay-Tampa game, and that's why I put Adams. This lineup had 3 snowflakes in it, and it still got close to 150, which cashed in all my cash games. So that shows you in cash games, those are 50-50s, head-to-heads, triple-ups, double-ups, the 5-man leagues, 3-man leagues, non-tournaments. just multipliers. When you go into DraftKings, anything that's not a tournament is pretty much a cash game. You don't have to have a huge score, as you have to, obviously, to win tournaments. But I like this lineup. I mean, if you look at it, it was not a lot of floor plays either. I mean, I don't know if Devontae Adams, he's a target monster, but he seems to have, I mean, obviously the balance. He's not really matchup proof because when a game happens like this and they don't score points, he's usually not having a great game. I mean, what receivers are? But a lot of these guys are touchdown dependent. So this was kind of a hybrid with the exception of the running backs, their volume, and Tannehill mispriced at 5,900. So that was my week 6. I'm looking forward to week 7. If anybody has any comments, please, again, like this video, please. That would really help a lot. Subscribe, leave some comments. Show me your lineups. Show me what you got. And let's get it. I want to win this millionaire tournament so bad. I am obsessed with this. And I want to win it and then post it here. So enjoy the rest of your day and happy football Monday.